under the silent bridge, where the fog rolls lazily across the river like a whispering blanket, there exists a story few dare to speak aloud, yet it hums gently through the currents for those willing to listen. Tonight, you are invited to lie down, sink into your mattress, feel the warmth of your blankets wrap around you like a comforting embrace, and close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs with the calm night air, and exhale the weight of your day, letting the tension slip away from your shoulders. Imagine your body growing heavier, your muscles softening, each finger and toe relaxing in turn, as if the world outside this room has faded into a distant hum. Evelyn Blackwood here, guiding you through this bedtime story. A sleep story to ease your mind and carry you gently into dreams. Beneath the silent bridge, the river flows uninterrupted, carrying with it the echoes of those who once walked its banks. Whispers of lives long past, tales of sorrow, longing, and the fragile threads of memory. The stones beneath the bridge are slick with moss, yet sturdy, holding fast against the endless passage of water, a quiet witness to history's passing shadows. On the shore, the reeds sway softly, brushing against one another with the gentlest of sighs, and a single lantern flickers in the distance, its warm light reflected on the dark surface of the river. As you imagine this scene, allow the sounds of your room to fade, replaced by the subtle rustle of leaves, the delicate drip of water from the bridge's arch, and the faint cry of an owl somewhere far along the shore. There is a subtle magic here, not loud or intrusive, but delicate, calming, cozy, and peaceful, wrapping around you like a lullaby. The bridge itself is ancient, carved from stones worn smooth by centuries of rain, sun, and the endless flow beneath. It has seen the town above rise and fall, witnessed lovers meeting in secret, children daring each other to cross, and travelers pausing to rest in its shadow. The wood of the nearby dock creaks softly in the evening breeze, and every sound merges into a rhythm both grounding and dreamlike. Imagine stepping closer to the bridge, feeling the cool mist that rises from the river kissing your skin, a gentle caress that invites you to linger. And there, just beyond the arch, a figure appears, luminous yet delicate, her reflection dancing on the water like liquid silver. She does not move quickly, nor does she speak, but her presence carries a story. A memory from a time when the bridge was more than stone and wood. It was a crossing between worlds, between the living and those whose voices have softened into the mist. You are safe here, nestled in your blankets, yet your imagination stretches to meet hers, feeling the chill of the river at your feet, the weight of history in the air, and the gentle pulse of something unseen brushing against the edges of awareness. The moon rises slowly above, casting pale light on the bridge and river, transforming the ordinary into something magical, ethereal, calming, peaceful, guiding your mind to wander through scenes of quiet beauty and quiet mystery. You notice a wooden rowboat tied to a post, rocking ever so slightly, carrying the faint scent of cedar and damp earth. Perhaps it was used by fishermen long ago, or by lovers seeking the solace of water under the cover of night. Each detail layers into the story, creating a world that exists only for you in this moment. a space where imagination flows as freely as the river itself. As you breathe, let yourself drift along with the current, moving gently beneath the arch, past stones smoothed by time, past reeds brushing against one another like whispers, past the soft glow of lanterns on the far bank. And though there is a subtle chill, it is never frightening, only a reminder of the bridge's age, its secrets, and the quiet power of stories waiting to be told. The river remembers all who linger, all who pause, all who listen with patient hearts. And you, lying here, are part of this remembrance, sharing in the calm, the magic, the stillness. The night stretches onward, soft and endless, and as the bedtime story unfolds, your mind floats on the surface of dreams yet to come, guided gently by these images, by the sound of imagined water, by the hush beneath the silent bridge. With every exhale, let your body sink deeper into your bed, your mind easing into the rhythm of the river, feeling relaxed, calm, and peaceful, ready to drift, ready to explore the mysteries that await under the silent bridge. And as you do, remember, you are safe, embraced by the calm night, the quiet whispers of history, and the magic that lingers in the folds of your imagination. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. Asterisk beneath the silent bridge, the river continued its slow, endless journey, carrying the faintest echoes of the past through the mist that lingered over its surface. Jonathan imagined standing at the water's edge, the stones cool beneath his feet, their surfaces slick from centuries of rain and river currents. The air was thick with the scent of wet earth and moss, and every breath he took seemed to draw the world closer. Every inhalation a tether to the stories that clung to the banks and arches of the bridge. A lone heron lifted from the reeds, wings cutting the air silently, and Jonathan's gaze followed it upstream, imagining the journeys of those who had passed this way long before. The lanterns from distant docks glimmered faintly, each one like a heartbeat in the dark, gentle pulses that guided him through the quiet, magical night. He could hear the soft murmur of water lapping against stone, a rhythm that seemed to mirror his own heartbeat. Steady, calm, yet filled with the weight of untold secrets. Shadows moved subtly beneath the bridge's arch, shifting with the moonlight and fog, not threatening but curious, inviting observation, beckoning him to peer closer. The ancient timbers overhead groaned softly as if sharing a sigh from long ago, a memory that hung in the air and pressed gently against his senses. Each step along the muddy bank revealed small details. A weathered rope, the imprint of shoes long vanished, a feather floating upon the water's surface. Jonathan imagined how the bridge had borne witness to so many moments. Whispered confessions, quiet farewells, perhaps even the lingering presence of grief that had never fully dissipated. And then, in the soft glow of moonlight reflected in the river, he saw her pale and radiant, almost floating above the water's surface. The form of a woman whose eyes held centuries of stories. She did not move, yet every motion of the river around her suggested life, a subtle pulse of the unseen energy that clung to this place. Jonathan took a careful step closer, feeling the chill of mist against his skin, a gentle reminder of the bridge's age and the secrets it had absorbed. The reeds bent slightly as though bowing to her presence, and the soft rustle carried faint whispers, voices of those who had been lost but remained tethered to the sight. He listened, each word unclear, but full of emotion, a language older than memory itself, conveying longing, sorrow, and sometimes the simplest desire for peace. The moonlight continued to shimmer on the water, illuminating the edges of the stones, revealing the fine carvings and marks made long ago by travelers and builders alike. Jonathan imagined their hands, worn and steady, chiseling each line, embedding stories into the very structure of the bridge, a testament to the human need to leave traces behind. With every inhale, he felt his body soften further, as though the river and the bridge themselves were guiding him into a state of calm and stillness. The night sky stretched above, velvet and dotted with stars that reflected faintly on the water's surface, creating a magical mirror of light and shadow. He could almost hear Evelyn's voice here, gentle and low, weaving the narrative around him, drawing him into a slow, meditative rhythm. "The bridge has seen everything," she would say. "Every life that paused here, every tear, every smile, every whispered secret has been kept safe beneath these stones." And as he imagined her words, Jonathan felt the warmth of understanding seep into him, the realization that this was a place of quiet guardianship, a space where history, memory, and gentle spirits converged in calm harmony. The faint ripple of water beneath the arch seemed to respond, each wave a lullaby, each reflection a gentle reminder that life continues in cycles, ever flowing, ever returning, ever peaceful. Jonathan closed his eyes, breathing slowly, letting the mist, the river, the bridge, and the quiet presence of the pale woman merge into a single experience, a continuous thread of calm that pulled him gently toward sleep. The night deepened, and the rhythm of the river became a song, soft and yet full of depth and subtle mystery, allowing his mind to wander freely, imagining all the stories it carried, as the bridge stood silently above, a witness to centuries of whispered lives and hidden truths. Jonathan felt an abiding sense of serenity, the kind that only comes when one is fully immersed in the stillness of the world around them. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The river beneath the silent bridge shifted subtly as the night deepened, its surface catching the soft silver glow of the moon, broken here and there by gentle ripples that seemed almost intentional, as if the water itself was signaling an unseen presence. Jonathan imagined stepping closer to the water's edge, feeling the damp grass underfoot, cool and soft, grounding him in this quiet, magical landscape. Shadows twisted and danced across the mossy stones, elongated by moonlight, giving the appearance of movement where there was none, or perhaps revealing what usually remained hidden. Somewhere along the bank, the faint sound of footsteps echoed, deliberate but never threatening, more like a call to attention, a reminder that the bridge had been a crossing not only for travelers of the land, but for those who lingered between worlds. And then he saw them, small flickers of light, ethereal and wavering, hovering just above the water, like lanterns held by invisible hands. These were the spirits, gentle and fleeting, their shapes indistinct yet undeniably present, moving slowly beneath the bridge as though pacing in time with the river itself. Jonathan imagined their eyes, soft and patient, peering at him with curiosity, not fear, inviting him to understand, to witness and to remember. The mist wrapped around the bridge's arches, curling into delicate spirals that rose and merged with the night air, carrying faint whispers, half in words, half in sighs, telling stories too old to be forgotten. Each whisper tugged at his imagination, evoking feelings of longing, of joy and sorrow intertwined, moments in human history preserved in a gentle embrace of the river. The wooden beams overhead creaked softly with the wind, their sound a rhythm, almost musical, echoing the heartbeat of the bridge, a sound so subtle that it blended seamlessly with the lapping water and rustling reeds. Jonathan took a deep breath, feeling the air thick with the scent of wet earth, cedar, and something faintly sweet, as if the bridge and river themselves exhaled memories into the night. Every detail, the play of light on the rippling surface, the way fog clung to the arches, the luminous figures gliding silently across the water, created a sense of wonder, a magic that was calming, cozy, and peaceful, coaxing his mind to wander, but never to fear. He pictured himself tracing the outlines of the bridge with his eyes, imagining the generations who had built it, walked across it, and perhaps had become part of it, leaving behind whispers and echoes that now swirled softly around him. And as he watched, one of the lights floated closer, shimmering, revealing the vague shape of a woman, translucent yet defined by the pale glow of moonlight, her gaze gentle, inviting, and full of history that had yet to be told. Jonathan felt a chill, not frightening but invigorating, awareness sharpening as the river murmured against the stones. He imagined the bridge's story unfolding slowly, each spirit a chapter, each ripple a word, each sigh a sentence, forming a narrative that stretched across centuries, yet folded softly around him in this quiet night. The gentle motion of the water beneath the arches seemed almost like a breath, rising and falling in perfect harmony with his own, soothing and meditative, a natural guided sleep meditation, calming every nerve, easing him deeper into relaxation. As he stood, he imagined the spirits moving in a delicate dance, weaving through the fog and moonlight, teaching patience and quiet reflection, offering the kind of peace only accessible when one is fully present, fully attentive, fully calm. The night grew deeper still, yet it never felt heavy. It only expanded, allowing him to float within it, weightless, carried by the rhythm of the river, the soft whispers, the glow of the spirits, and the timeless solidity of the bridge. Every step, every breath, every heartbeat merged with the gentle cadence of the water and wind, creating a cocoon of serenity, a space where curiosity met comfort, where mystery met magical calm. The moonlight reflected in the river glimmered across the stones, across the arches, across the unseen faces that lingered in memory, drawing Jonathan into a trance-like state of contemplation and rest. He felt connected to everything: the water, the fog, the arching bridge, the spirits, and the long-forgotten stories that waited beneath the silent structure. And as the night embraced him, he felt the tension of the day dissolve entirely, replaced by the profound stillness of the river, the gentle presence of the unseen, and the quiet power of history mingling with imagination as the story fades. Allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The mist beneath the silent bridge thickened ever so slightly as Jonathan's imagination drifted further into the night, curling around the arches like a living thread of silver smoke. The river's gentle flow created a soft, continuous murmur that seemed almost to speak, carrying with it fragments of forgotten conversations, sighs of those long past, and the faintest laughter that had been lost to time. Shadows stretched and intertwined along the stone and wood of the bridge, moving with the breeze as if alive, not threatening but subtly sentient, hinting at the mysteries that waited to be revealed. Jonathan imagined stepping closer, toes brushing against the wet earth, each small ripple from the water beneath echoing softly, a delicate rhythm that pulled him further into this calm yet slightly eerie world. Along the banks, reeds swayed gently, and the soft sound of their brushing whispered faint stories tallies of young lovers daring to meet beneath the arches, of travelers pausing to rest, of whispered confessions carried away by the wind and water alike. A faint glow appeared in the fog, flickering like a distant lantern, and Jonathan felt a gentle thrill as he realized it was not a lantern at all, but a spirit hovering low above the water, luminous and gentle, moving in time with the river's breath. Its form was indistinct, yet elegant, pale light shimmering across its edges, casting soft reflections on the rippling surface. He imagined the spirit's eyes, calm and patient, filled with stories too long silent, inviting him to witness, to remember, and to feel the delicate weight of memory that lingered here. The bridge's ancient timbers groaned softly in the night air, a quiet song of history, carrying within each vibration 1,000 untold stories, each one preserved within the mossy stones. They worn wood and the fog that never fully lifted. Jonathan pictured the interplay of moonlight and shadow on the water, a dance both mesmerizing and calming, the kind of visual lullaby that coaxes the mind toward rest while tickling the edges of curiosity. And then more lights appeared, faint at first, drifting just above the surface of the river, ethereal and wavering like willow. Their wisps weaving through the mist, sometimes rising, sometimes dipping into the gentle flow of water. Each one seemed to carry a fragment of a life. Once lived a memory of joy, sorrow, longing, or secret happiness, and the combined presence created a tapestry of quiet emotion that wrapped around Jonathan's consciousness like a soft, protective blanket. The sound of water lapping against stone became rhythmic, hypnotic, blending seamlessly with imagined whispers that spoke not in words but in feeling, each one conveying the essence of the past without alarm, only a gentle urging to understand, reflect, and find peace. As he visualized the bridge stretching above, the river flowing endlessly beneath, and the spirits gliding among the fog, Jonathan felt a growing serenity, a soothing calm that flowed through his entire body, releasing tension, slowing his heartbeat, and drawing his mind into a state of meditative stillness. The moonlight painted the water with shifting silver patterns, highlighting each ripple, each ghostly form, creating a scene that was cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful, the perfect backdrop for a bedtime story and guided sleep meditation. Jonathan imagined the subtle scent of wet earth, moss, and faint cedar drifting on the night air, mingling with the cool mist each inhalation deepening his relaxation, connecting him more fully with the world beneath the silent bridge. Every moment felt suspended in time, yet alive with quiet energy, a gentle balance of the seen and unseen, the living and the remembered, and as he breathed, he allowed the scene to carry him, to float gently on the river's current, immersed in the interplay of fog, shadow, light, and the delicate presence of spirits whose stories were finally being remembered. The night grew deeper, yet there was no fear, only wonder, gentle curiosity, and the calm magic of a world preserved in whispers and reflected light. Every sensation, sound, touch, sight, and the imagined presence of unseen beings combined to lull the mind into peaceful contemplation, a precursor to the gentle drift into sleep. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The river beneath the silent bridge seemed to breathe in rhythm with Jonathan's own slow, steady inhalations, carrying the soft mist along its course, as though guiding him deeper into the hidden world beneath the arches. Small ripples glimmered in the moonlight, reflecting pale, shifting shapes that suggested movement, yet never startled, only intrigued, inviting him to explore further. Jonathan imagined stepping carefully along the moss-covered stones, each one cool and damp beneath his feet, grounding him while the world above faded into silence. The reeds at the river's edge swayed gently, brushing against one another, producing whispers that wove seamlessly into the ambient sound of flowing water, creating a delicate, calming symphony that seemed both alive and eternal. A faint glow appeared near the center of the river, flickering softly, and as Jonathan focused, he realized it was a spirit, luminous and ethereal, hovering just above the water, its form delicate and shifting like liquid silver. The spirit's presence was neither threatening nor alarming, but carried a quiet authority, a gentle insistence to witness, to feel, and to remember. Jonathan imagined it moving closer, drifting with the river's flow, its subtle light reflecting off the arches and stones, revealing intricate textures of moss, worn wood, and carved inscriptions long forgotten. Each detail of the bridge told a story, a memory embedded into its very structure by hands that had long since passed, yet whose presence lingered in the stones and water. As the spirit moved, faint whispers filled the air, unintelligible yet charged with emotion, joy, sorrow, longing, moments of connection and separation, all suspended delicately in the night. The bridge itself seemed to respond, timbers creaking softly, stones settling into place as though breathing along with the river, participating in a rhythm older than memory. Jonathan felt a gentle shiver of anticipation, not fear, as the mist curled around him, soft and cool, carrying with it a subtle, sweet scent of cedar, wet earth, and something faintly floral, mingling with the natural rhythm of the night. More lights appeared beneath the bridge, faint but distinct, flickering like the pulse of a heartbeat in the dark water, moving as if dancing to an ancient melody carried by the river. Jonathan imagined their eyes, patient and knowing, each one holding centuries of stories, observing him with quiet curiosity, offering glimpses of history and emotion without the need for words. The moonlight painted the ripples in silver, highlighting the gentle sway of the reeds, the soft curves of the stones, the smooth arches overhead, all merging into a magical, cozy, and peaceful landscape that invited contemplation and calm. The river's soft murmur combined with the delicate whispers to create a meditative rhythm, perfectly aligned with his breathing, drawing him deeper into a state of relaxation suitable for a bedtime story, a sleep story, and a guided sleep meditation. Jonathan pictured himself lying on the riverbank, fully immersed in this quiet, ethereal scene. Every detail, sound, scent, shadow, and light melding into a calming tableau, easing tension and carrying him gently toward sleep. The bridge above, ancient and steadfast, remained a silent guardian, its stones and beams etched with history, holding the memories of countless lives, echoing softly through the night air. The spirits beneath moved gracefully, never imposing, only present, a subtle reminder of the passage of time, the endurance of memory, and the gentle magic that lingers in hidden corners of the world. Every breath he took synchronized with the flow of the river. Every heartbeat echoed the quiet rhythm of unseen presences, creating a soothing, continuous lullaby for the mind. And as he allowed himself to drift with the river, embraced by the calm, enchanted landscape, Jonathan felt a profound sense of serenity, a deep, comforting stillness that wrapped around him like the softest blanket. The night stretched infinitely, the moonlight shimmering across water and stone, spirits floating in gentle arcs, fog curling in silver tendrils, and the entire scene seems suspended in perfect balance between mystery and peace. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The night beneath the silent bridge had settled into a gentle, mesmerizing rhythm, the river flowing steadily, its surface catching the pale moonlight and scattering it across the mossy stones and arches in delicate, flickering patterns. Jonathan imagined stepping closer, each movement measured and calm, feeling the cool mist against his skin, the soft give of wet earth beneath his feet, and the subtle pulse of the unseen world around him. The spirits beneath the bridge moved in slow, graceful arcs, their luminous forms weaving through the fog, casting gentle reflections that danced upon the water like liquid silver. Each carried a fragment of memory, a whisper of a life once lived, and as they drifted past, Jonathan felt a tender pull, as though the river itself was sharing its stories directly with him. The reeds along the bank swayed softly, brushing against one another, adding a hushed rustling to the symphony of water, mist, and light, creating a calming, magical, and cozy atmosphere that invited the mind to relax completely. Jonathan imagined pausing at the center of the bridge, gazing down into the flowing water, seeing the spirits glide beneath, each ripple carrying a whisper of history, sorrow, and joy intertwined, a delicate balance of emotions that transcended time. The arches above, ancient and steadfast, loomed with quiet dignity, holding centuries of secrets and memories, yet offering a comforting stability amidst the ethereal display below. A soft wind moved through the night, carrying the faint scent of cedar, damp earth, and the subtle floral notes that clung to the mist, deepening Jonathan's sense of calm and presence. The moon hung low, casting a gentle, silver light that highlighted the textures of stone, moss, and rippling water, while the spirit's soft glow lent a supernatural yet peaceful quality to the scene, inviting meditation and reflection. Jonathan felt his own breath slow, sinking naturally with the rhythm of the river, the sway of reeds, and the quiet murmurs of the spirits, creating a soothing cadence that guided him toward complete relaxation. As he stood, he imagined each spirit acknowledging his presence, not with fear or demand, but with a quiet curiosity, a gentle invitation to bear witness, to hold space for memory and story, and to feel the comfort in knowing that some histories remain alive in quiet, subtle ways. Every element, the flowing river, the floating lights, the mist curling in silver tendrils, the sounds of water and reeds, the ancient arches overhead melded into a cohesive, calming, and peaceful environment, perfectly suited for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. Jonathan felt the weight of the day slip away entirely, replaced by a profound stillness, an abiding sense of wonder, and the quiet thrill of being part of a hidden narrative that had endured for centuries. Slowly, he stepped back, leaving the center of the bridge, yet carrying the essence of the spirits and river with him, letting their stories fill the spaces between thoughts, wrapping him in serenity. The night stretched on, infinite and soft, the moon reflecting off the water, the mist curling, the spirits gliding through it all, and Jonathan felt the perfect harmony of calm and quiet magic. A moment frozen in time, yet alive in sensation. As he imagined this world, he could sense the subtle invitation of the bridge to remember, to reflect, and to allow the night's calm to seep into every fiber of his being. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. Thank you for joining this journey beneath the silent bridge. If you've enjoyed this bedtime story, please subscribe to Midnight Murmurs Radio for more relaxing stories and guided sleep meditations, and share the magic with others who seek calm, peace, and a touch of mystery in their nights. Beneath the silent bridge, the river glimmered faintly in the early hours of night, its surface smooth, yet alive with subtle ripples that carried the faintest echoes of long-forgotten stories. Jonathan imagined stepping carefully along the mossy bank, each footfall soft against the damp earth, the cool mist brushing his skin, mingling with the faint scent of cedar and wet soil. Above, the arches of the bridge stretched overhead like ancient guardians, carved stones worn smooth by centuries of rain and passing feet, each one a repository of memory and quiet secrets. As he moved closer to the water's edge, he noticed a series of faint, glowing lights hovering just above the river, drifting in rhythm with the gentle current, ethereal and soft, yet unmistakably present. The river seemed to murmur in response, the gentle lap of water against the stones forming a slow, hypnotic cadence perfectly aligned with his breathing, drawing him into a state of calm and reflective stillness. The spirits beneath the bridge were now more defined, their pale forms delicate and shifting, as if composed of mist and moonlight, carrying with them faint whispers of centuries past, fragments of laughter, sighs of sorrow, and moments of quiet joy long since faded from memory. Jonathan imagined leaning closer, feeling the subtle pull of unseen energy, the quiet insistence to witness, to absorb and to reflect on the stories held within this hidden corner of the world. The reeds along the riverbank swayed softly, brushing against one another in a hushed, almost musical rhythm, adding a gentle layer of sound to the already rich tapestry of the night, creating a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful environment perfectly suited for a bedtime story and sleep story experience. Moonlight reflected across the river in shifting patterns, illuminating the mossy stones and the delicate arches, painting the scene in silver and shadow, heightening the sense of mystery without breaking the tranquility. Jonathan felt the subtle energy of the spirit's brush against his awareness, neither alarming nor intrusive, simply present, offering a quiet companionship in the solitude of the night. He envisioned the bridge as a threshold between worlds, a space where the living and the remembered could meet, sharing stories without judgment, where the weight of history was softened by the gentle flow of the river and the ethereal glow of unseen presences. Every element, the soft rush of water, the floating lights, the curling mist, the murmuring reeds, and the enduring arches combined into a continuous lullaby, drawing his thoughts slowly away from the stresses of the day, allowing his mind to drift in harmony with the rhythm of the river, the subtle warmth of the night, mingling with the cool mist, created a balance that was at once grounding and ethereal, a gentle reminder of the world's quiet, magic, and enduring calm. Jonathan imagined lying down on the bank, eyes closed, breathing slowly, letting the presence of the bridge, the river, and the spirits envelop him in a cocoon of serenity, a perfect guide into deep relaxation. The soft glow of the lights reflected in the water created shifting patterns that mesmerized, each one a fleeting story, a memory suspended in the gentle flow, reminding him of the interconnectedness of time, place, and consciousness. As the river continued to murmur beneath the arches, Jonathan allowed himself to float mentally on its surface, carried by the rhythm of water, wind, and ethereal light, a perfect guided sleep meditation, easing tension, softening thoughts, and preparing the mind for restful sleep. The moon hung low, casting its silver gaze across the scene, and the bridge stood silent yet alive with quiet energy, a steadfast witness to centuries of whispered stories and lingering spirits. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The river beneath the silent bridge shimmered under the moonlight, each ripple reflecting pale silver patterns that seemed to move with intent, guiding Jonathan further into the quiet, ethereal world. The mist swirled lazily, curling around the arches, wrapping the bridge in a soft veil that blurred the lines between water, stone, and air. Jonathan imagined stepping closer, the cool dampness of the Muscoved stones underfoot grounding him, while the faint scent of cedar and wet earth deepened his sense of calm. Above the arches of the bridge loomed ancient and steadfast, carved by hands long gone, yet still holding their stories in the grains of stone and the worn timbers that had withstood countless seasons. Just beneath the bridge, faint glimmers appeared, ethereal lights moving gently across the water, each flicker suggesting a presence, a memory, or a whisper from centuries past. The spirits beneath were delicate and luminous, their forms fluid, almost merging with the mist, moving with the river's current, carrying traces of lives long ended, yet preserved here in soft, spectral arcs. Jonathan imagined their eyes serene and patient, observing without judgment, inviting him to feel the depth of history and the subtle echoes of emotion that lingered in this sacred space. The reeds along the bank swayed quietly, brushing softly against one another, their gentle rustling blending with the rhythmic lapping of the water, creating a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful atmosphere perfectly suited for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. Each sound, each shadow, each glimmer of light worked in harmony, drawing him deeper into a meditative state where the lines between imagination and reality blurred into a single, continuous sense of tranquility. The moonlight painted shifting patterns on the river's surface, illuminating subtle textures of moss, stone, and rippling water, while the spirit's soft glow enhanced the scene's otherworldly beauty, inviting reflection and quiet curiosity. Jonathan felt the slow pull of the unseen currents, the gentle nudge of the spirits, encouraging him to breathe deeply, to feel the night's calm enter every part of his body, softening tension and opening space for serenity. The bridge seemed alive, its timbers and stones resonating with the accumulated energy of centuries, each vibration harmonizing with the river and the luminous forms beneath, forming a delicate, peaceful lullaby. Jonathan imagined the history embedded here, whispered conversations, secret meetings, fleeting joys, and quiet sorrows, all folded into the stones and the flow of the water, accessible to those willing to pause and notice. Every ripple of the river carried a fragment of memory, every swaying red whispered emotion, and the spirits drifted in gentle arcs, forming a living tapestry of past and present. He allowed his mind to drift with the rhythm, feeling the cool mist, the gentle murmur of the river, and the soft glow of the ethereal lights envelop him in a calm cocoon. The subtle warmth of the night mingled with the coolness of the water, creating balance and deepening the sense of peaceful, magical serenity. The moon reflected on the water, the fog curling in silver tendrils, the spirits moving silently beneath the arches, all merging into a hypnotic, calming flow that lulled Jonathan toward sleep. As the night stretched onward, he felt tension dissolve completely, replaced by quiet wonder, a gentle thrill of presence, and the soothing embrace of the bridge, river, and lingering memories. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The river beneath the silent bridge deepened into shadows, its surface catching glimmers of moonlight that shimmered like scattered silver along the gentle ripples, carrying with it the whispers of lives long past. Jonathan imagined stepping carefully along the mossy stones, feeling the soft give of the damp earth beneath his feet, the cool mist brushing against his skin and carrying a faint, sweet scent of cedar and earth. Above, the bridge's arches loomed timeless, their carved stones worn smooth over centuries, every groove and crack holding stories of the people who had crossed, lingered, or vanished into memory. As he gazed into the water, ethereal light began to move with purpose, shimmering just above the surface like spirits made of moonlight and fog. These spirits were more defined now, their forms fluid yet discernible. drifting slowly with the river's current, their presence gentle but undeniable, carrying with them the echoes of forgotten conversations, laughter, sorrow, and fleeting moments of human emotion. Jonathan imagined their eyes, calm yet penetrating, conveying a sense of patience and quiet wisdom, inviting him to bear witness to their stories, to feel the depth of history preserved in this hidden place. The reeds along the riverbank swayed softly, brushing against one another and producing faint whispers that blended seamlessly with the sound of flowing water, creating a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful atmosphere perfectly suited for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. The moonlight reflected off the river in shifting patterns, highlighting the textures of moss, stone, and rippling water, while the spirit's soft glow painted an enchanting scene that was both soothing and mysterious. Jonathan felt a gentle shiver, not of fear, but of heightened awareness, as the mist curled and the spirits drifted closer, moving with the rhythm of the river, as if inviting him to participate in this quiet ballet of light and memory. Every sound, the soft lap of water, the rustle of reeds, the subtle sigh of wind through the arches blended into a slow, hypnotic cadence that guided his thoughts away from the cares of the day and into a state of calm, meditative attention. He imagined the river carrying not only water but also fragments of memory, every ripple a story, every glow a life remembered, and felt the bridge above as a protective threshold, holding these interactions gently within its silent arches, the subtle warmth of the night combined with the cool mist to create a delicate balance, a sense of safety, serenity, and quiet magic. Jonathan pictured himself lying down along the river bank, letting the cool earth, the glow of spirits, the gentle murmur of water, and the curling fog wrap him in a cocoon of calm. Each breath synced naturally with the rhythm of the river, every heartbeat echoing the soft undulations of the water and the quiet movements of the spirits. The night expanded around him, infinite and tranquil, the moonlight painting everything in soft silver, the fog drifting in slow arcs, the spirits gliding silently, all contributing to a hypnotic, continuous lullaby. The river murmured beneath the arches, carrying centuries of whispers, while Jonathan allowed himself to drift deeper into stillness, calm, and gentle wonder. As the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The night beneath the silent bridge thickened, the river's surface glinting faintly under the soft glow of the moon, every ripple reflecting silver strands of light that danced across the musk-covered stones. Jonathan stepped lightly along the bank, feeling the damp earth beneath his feet and the cool mist brushing against his skin, carrying the subtle scent of cedar, wet stone, and something faintly sweet, as if the river itself exhaled centuries of memory. The arches of the bridge stretched overhead, their carved stones worn smooth by countless seasons, each groove a repository of stories, long forgotten yet still vibrating with quiet energy. Beneath the bridge, the spirits glimmered more vividly now, their forms fluid, almost liquid, drifting in slow arcs above the water, and Jonathan felt a gentle pull in the air, as if the unseen currents were urging him to observe more closely, to witness the hidden world fully. Their presence was undeniable yet soothing, carrying with them echoes of laughter, soft sighs, tender moments of joy and sorrow preserved in the gentle folds of time. Jonathan imagined leaning closer, eyes fixed on the luminous shapes, feeling the quiet connection between his own breath and the soft pulse of the river, syncing his heartbeat with the rhythm of the spirit's movements. The reeds along the bank swayed in harmony with the river, brushing together to form delicate whispers that merged with the soft murmur of the water, creating a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful atmosphere perfect for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. Moonlight casts silver patterns across the ripples, highlighting textures of moss, worn wood, and the ethereal glow of spirits drifting lazily beneath the arches, the scene alive yet entirely serene. Jonathan felt the subtle shiver of anticipation, not fear, as the spirits drifted closer, their light reflecting in the water, revealing faint, shifting features, glimpses of faces that once lived and now existed in this delicate, suspended space between worlds. Every sound, the gentle lap of the river, the rustle of reeds, the soft sigh of wind blended into a continuous, hypnotic cadence, guiding his mind to relax, his thoughts to quiet, and his senses to fully inhabit the magic of the night. The bridge above, ancient and strong, seemed to pulse with quiet energy, responding to the presence beneath, amplifying the whispers, the glimmers of light, the subtle movements, creating a seamless flow between history, memory, and imagination. Jonathan pictured himself lying on the soft riverbank, breathing slowly, the cool earth beneath him grounding his body, while the mist, the ethereal lights, and the river's gentle murmur enveloped him in serenity, drawing every tension away. The spirit's soft, deliberate movements carried a story of continuity, connection, and remembrance, a gentle reminder of time's persistence and the quiet magic that lingers unseen. The moonlight painted shifting reflections across water and stone, the fog curling in soft arcs, the luminous forms gliding gracefully, all merging into a hypnotic, calming tableau. Jonathan felt suspended between the tangible and the ethereal, fully immersed in the magical rhythm of the river, and the presence of spirits whose stories whispered without words. Every sensation, sight, sound, scent, touch combined to create profound relaxation, drawing him into meditative stillness, perfect for drifting toward sleep. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The river beneath the silent bridge shimmered in the moonlight, ripples moving in slow, hypnotic patterns that seemed to echo the soft rhythm of Jonathan's breathing. The mist curled delicately around the arches, wrapping the ancient structure in a veil of silver haze, blurring the line between water, stone, and air. Jonathan imagined stepping closer to the center of the bridge, each footfall soft against the mossy stones, feeling the cool dampness beneath him while inhaling the faint, comforting scent of cedar and wet. Beneath the bridge, the spirits had grown more vivid, their forms fluid and luminous, drifting just above the surface of the river, carrying with them centuries of whispered stories, forgotten laughter, and long-lost sorrows, each one moving in perfect synchrony. With the gentle flow of the water, Jonathan felt a subtle pull, as if the river itself was guiding him to notice each detail the way the moonlight struck the arches, The soft sway of reeds along the bank, the delicate shimmer of the spirits' forms. Their presence was unmistakable, yet calming, inviting him to witness, to reflect, and to feel the quiet weight of time suspended in this hidden space. The reeds rustled softly in the night breeze, adding a whispering accompaniment to the hypnotic murmur of the river, blending perfectly into a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful atmosphere, suitable for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. Jonathan imagined leaning closer, sensing the faint energy of the spirits brushing against him, gentle but perceptible, as though the river, the bridge, and the spirits themselves were guiding him toward deeper awareness and serene reflection. Moonlight painted shifting silver patterns across the water, highlighting every subtle texture of stone, moss, and flowing current, while the spirits glided silently, creating an ethereal ballet of light and shadow that invited contemplation without alarm. Each ripple, each flicker of luminous form carried with it a fragment of history, a memory preserved in quiet suspension, encouraging Jonathan to breathe slowly, relax fully, and absorb the calm presence surrounding him. The arches above seemed alive, their ancient stones humming with the weight of centuries, amplifying the quiet murmurs of the river and the spirits, forming a seamless connection between past and present. Jonathan pictured himself lying on the soft riverbank, the cool earth grounding him, the mist enveloping him, the gentle glow of spirits floating across the water, all combining to lull his mind toward tranquility and rest. The soft lap of water, the subtle rustle of reeds, the whispers of centuries past, and the shimmering forms of spirits blended into a continuous lullaby, harmonizing perfectly with his breathing, heart rate, and thoughts, easing every trace of tension. The scene, suspended between reality and imagination, was infused with a gentle magic, peaceful and calming, allowing him to feel fully present while simultaneously drifting toward sleep. As the spirits drifted gracefully beneath the arches, their gentle presence reminded him of the continuity of time, the endurance of memory, and the subtle, unseen wonders that linger quietly in hidden places. Jonathan felt each exhalation release worry, each heartbeat sync with the river's current, each sight of light and shadow deepen his serenity, carrying him further into the embrace of calm. The moonlight, mist, water, and spirits merged into a hypnotic tableau of peace, magic, and tranquility, perfect for letting go of the day's cares. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep. The night beneath the silent bridge settled into a profound stillness, the river flowing gently beneath arches worn smooth by centuries, carrying with it the soft reflections of moonlight and the delicate glow of ethereal spirits. Jonathan imagined stepping closer, the mossy stones cool beneath his feet, the faint scent of cedar and damp earth mingling with the soft mist that curled around him, brushing gently against his skin. The spirits beneath the bridge had become more vivid, moving gracefully across the water's surface, their luminous forms flowing with the river's rhythm, each carrying whispers of forgotten laughter, long-lost sorrows, and tender fragments of lives once lived. Jonathan felt a subtle pull, as if the river itself guided him to notice every detail: the arches, carved stones, The shifting silver reflections on the water, the soft sway of reeds along the banks, and the delicate glow of the spirits' forms. Their presence was serene yet alive, inviting him to witness, reflect, and feel the continuity of time preserved in this hidden corner of the world. The reeds rustled softly in the night breeze, blending perfectly with the gentle murmur of the river, creating a cozy, magical, calming, and peaceful atmosphere ideal for a bedtime story, sleep story, and guided sleep meditation. Jonathan pictured lying on the soft earth along the riverbank, the cool ground grounding him, the mist embracing him, and the gentle glow of spirits floating across the water, enveloping him in tranquility. Every sound, the soft lap of water, the subtle rustle of reeds, the whispers of centuries past, the delicate movement of luminous forms merged into a continuous, hypnotic lullaby, guiding his mind into meditative stillness. Moonlight painted shifting silver patterns across the water and arches, highlighting the textures of moss, stone, and flowing current, while the spirits glided silently, forming an ethereal ballet of light and shadow that evoked both calm and quiet wonder. Jonathan felt each breath slow, each heartbeat aligned with the river's gentle rhythm, every trace of tension released as he absorbed the serene presence surrounding him. The arches above seemed to hum softly with centuries of memory, resonating with the whispers of the river and spirits, forming a seamless connection between past and present, reality and imagination. Every ripple of the river, every flicker of luminous form carried fragments of history, gentle reminders of time's continuity, and the quiet magic that lingers in places often unseen. Jonathan allowed himself to drift deeper into the experience, letting the rhythm of water, mist, and light guide him toward ultimate relaxation. The scene, suspended between worlds, infused with cozy, peaceful, magical, and calming energy, was a perfect environment for letting go of all worldly concerns. As the spirits drifted gracefully beneath the arches and the moonlight shimmered across the river, Jonathan felt a profound serenity, a sense of being part of something timeless, quiet, and gentle. Slowly, the lights began to fade into the mist, the whispers softened, and the river's gentle flow became the sole companion, carrying him toward the edges of sleep. And as the story fades, allow yourself to drift into a peaceful sleep, carrying with you the calm, the magic, and the serenity of the silent bridge, the flowing river, and the gentle, watchful spirits. Thank you for joining this journey through Under the Silent Bridge. Please subscribe to Midnight Murmurs Radio for more relaxing stories, sleep stories, and guided sleep meditations, and share this quiet magic with others who seek peace and calm.